we are gone.
Welcome to this video on how China is breaking the US dollar. China's economic rise has had a significant impact on the global economy, and its actions have weakened the position of the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. In this video, we'll explore the key factors behind this trend and what it means for the global economy. China's economic rise. China's economic rise has been one of the most significant events in recent global economic history. Since the 1980s, China has become one of the world's largest economies, with a GDP of over $15 trillion in 2020. This growth has been fueled by a range of factors, including China's vast population, low wages, and government policies aimed at promoting economic growth. One consequence of China's economic rise has been its increased demand for commodities like oil and minerals. These commodities are priced in US dollars, which has created a huge demand for US dollars and helped to strengthen the US dollar's position as the world's reserve currency. As China has continued to grow, this demand for US dollars has only increased. China has amassed a huge amount of foreign reserves over the past few decades, which it has used to buy US dollars and US dollar-denominated assets. This has helped to prop up the US dollar and keep US interest rates low. In 2020, China held over $1 trillion in US treasuries alone. However, China has started to diversify its foreign reserves away from US dollars in recent years. This is partly due to concerns about the stability of the US economy and the US dollar. China has been investing more in other currencies, including the euro and the yen, as well as in commodities and other assets. This diversification away from US dollars has weakened the US dollar's position as the world's reserve currency, as China's buying power has decreased. It has also made the global economy more susceptible to fluctuations in currencies other than the US dollar. China's role in global trade. China has become a major player in global trade, and as such, it has started to promote the use of its own currency, the renminbi, in international trade. This is partly a response to the growing number of countries that are looking to reduce their reliance on the US dollar. By promoting the use of the renminbi in global trade, China is reducing the need for US dollars. This weakens the US dollar's position as the world's reserve currency and makes the global economy less dependent on the US. China's promotion of the renminbi in global trade has also had other benefits for China. It has allowed China to increase its influence in the global economy and to challenge the dominance of the US in global finance. It has also made it easier for China to conduct trade with other countries, as it no longer needs to hold as many US dollars to do so. The US dollar's weakness. The US dollar has been weakening in recent years, partly due to China's actions. The US dollar index, which measures the value of the US dollar against a basket of other currencies, has fallen by around 10% since early 2020. One consequence of the US dollar's weakness has been higher inflation in the US. As the US dollar weakens, imports become more expensive, and this can lead to higher prices for goods and services in the US. This can reduce the purchasing power of Americans and make it harder for them to afford the things they need. Another consequence of the US dollar's weakness is that it makes US assets less attractive to foreign investors. This can lead to higher interest rates in the US, which can further slow down economic growth. Implications for the global economy. China's actions have significant implications for the global economy. If the US dollar loses its position as the world's reserve currency, it could lead to higher interest rates and inflation in the US. This could make it harder for Americans to borrow money and could lead to a slowdown in economic growth. It could also lead to greater volatility in currency markets, as different countries and investors switch to different currencies. This could create uncertainty and instability in the global economy. However, there are also potential benefits to the global economy if the US dollar's dominance is reduced. It could lead to a more diversified and stable global financial system, with less dependence on a single currency. It could also give other countries more say in global economic decision-making, as they would no longer be as reliant on the US for trade and finance. This could lead to a more equitable and inclusive global economic system. In conclusion, China's actions have played a significant role in weakening the US dollar's position as the world's reserve currency. Its economic rise, foreign reserves, role in global trade, and promotion of the renminbi have all contributed to this trend. While there are potential risks and challenges associated with a weaker US dollar, there are also potential benefits for the global economy if it becomes more diversified and stable. It remains to be seen how this trend will develop in the coming years, and how it will affect the global economy as a whole. However, it is clear that China will continue to play a significant role in shaping the future of the global financial system. We've seen China's economic rise, Foreign reserves, role in global trade, and promotion of the renminbi have all contributed to the weakening of the US dollar's position as the world's reserve currency. While this trend has potential risks and challenges, there are also potential benefits for a more diversified and stable global financial system. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more informative content on the global economy and international relations. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts on this topic and any suggestions for future videos. Thank you for watching.
They call me a god.